GP, how you doing, man?
CDS.
So I'm gonna give you I'm gonna get you started. I'm gonna
Yeah.
toss it over to you with a simple.
Yeah. Team me up. Team me up real quick. Team
Yeah,
me up.
here you go. Team me up. Organizationally, here's what
Mm,
the Eagles need to do.
okay.
Just fucking fire everyone.
Mm.
Everyone, Howie on down. I don't care. He's as much a clown as Nick is for allowing him to hire Kevin Patullo. Nick for hiring Kevin Patullo. Kevin Patullo for not trying to get better. The whole thing has been a disaster from the organizational standpoint. Go.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the title onto the page while you go nuts.
You know what, CDS?
Everyone, we're gonna stay calm.
Yesterday, I'm gonna try my best to stay calm until I get to the hot take, because I'm gonna get to that a little bit further down. Yesterday, CDS, I wasn't happy yesterday. But I woke up today thinking to myself, well, I was kind of right about Jake Elliott, and I've been right about AJ Brown all year. I was right about Jake Elliott, and I've been right about AJ Brown all year.
Oh, can I say one quick thing about Jake Elliott?
Go ahead.
If you remember when we've had these conversations, what did I say? What did I say repeatedly? The man is worse at extra points than he is at 50-yard field goals.
Yeah. So when I came to that realization this morning, like, you know what, I was kind of on track with these two things. I felt better about myself, CDS. So when I came to that realization today, I felt better about myself. The thing is, dude, we've been doing lives for a few weeks now, 6, 7, 8 weeks, something like that. Maybe a little bit longer than that. Yeah. Is this surprising? I don't think so.
None of this is surprising.
Yeah, we're not happy because
it's frustrating.
We're not happy because we're Eagles fans. We're frustrated because we're Eagles fans. But are we really surprised? No,
not at all. It's like this for me. I'm not at all surprised. What I was hoping for is that, just like we did to get 11 wins, that the talent that we had would be enough to overcome the coaching.
Yeah. What I was hoping for, and I said this during our lives, was that maybe we were sandbagging during the season, right? Not showing our full hand. No,
we were bigger playbook.
We were showing our full hand. We were showing our full hand, right? And
showing it all, baby.
The same
bend over and show it all.
And now that goes to show, based on the reaction and the feedback that we're seeing from the media, that goes to show how little they actually paid attention to these games, that they're so surprised that it unfolded how it unfolded. It's really not that surprising. The most surprising part about all of this were like the gashes here and there that Saquon Barkley was pulling off. That was probably the most surprising part of that whole entire game. Like, he's not going to run into a pile of offensive and defensive linemen. He's going to put his foot down, cut, try to turn the corner and head upfield. He had a couple runs in there. I was like, dude, where was this all season?
Yeah.
Even in the first
couple. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes out for
ones for sure.
He goes out for a little bit. Tank Bigsby comes in, business as usual. He's running. He gets fired up. He does the whole point first down. Things were looking good, but I'm not surprised that we lost. I'm just more frustrated as an Eagles fan. Pissed off with some things that I saw. I mean, I can go on and on about AJ Brown, dude, but and I say this every time, dude. If you didn't compare yourself to T.O., I wouldn't hold you to a standard that I'm holding you to. You did this to yourself.
I would, because of the money he makes.
Fair, very fair. But dude, you're gonna call yourself.
I get your point.
You know what I mean? You're gonna call yourself T.O. Dude, T.O. dominated in the Super Bowl on one leg.
I was just gonna say that's the point. And who said this? Was it? I forget now. I think it might have been actually.
What's up,
Carlos?
Carlos?
Bring up a Cowboy, especially, but he's made good takes here and there. I think it might have actually been Dez Bryant.
Yeah.
Who, in a tweet that I saw there, it's like, look, man, if you are going to, as a wide receiver, if you are going to be one of them, if you are going to open your mouth, if you are going to complain, if you are going to say, I need the damn ball more, you sure as hell better catch it when they throw it to you.
Catch it and lay out for it.
That's it.
That first drop, you got to lay out for that ball, dude.
That one deep, that was an embarrassment.
You have to lay out for that. You have to lay out for that.
Some people say because he didn't touch it, that's not on him. No, BS. He short-armed it, first of all, and didn't make any effort.
He heard some feet, and he said,
Yes, he did.
I'm not gonna lay off
He
for this."
said he pulled. I'm gonna go way back for a minute for those that are old because my dad told me this, and it's just always stuck in my head. He did a Ricky Waters for
Mm,
who for what.
mm,
Right, and that was Ricky Waters, who, by the way, was really great in his limited time in Philly, but he went over the middle once for a ball, and he was gonna get popped. That was back in the day when you could really pop somebody, and he did alligator's arms. He did pulled his arms back in, and after the game, that's what he said, that
yeah,
he wasn't gonna take that hit because
yeah,
for who, for what? And
mm,
that's what A.J. Brown did,
mm.
and he dropped 2, and they were all huge. That's the other thing. A.J. Brown didn't drop a wide receiver screen on 1st and 10, okay? He dropped 3 incredibly important balls that
Big
were
plays,
game changers.
big
Game
plays. The
changers.
one along the sideline.
Oh,
Now, I don't now I'm not gonna overreact, dude, but that's a good enough ball, dude. Like you got to catch that. Like that's a good enough ball. I
oh,
mean, I don't like
absolutely.
I don't know what to tell you. Like I don't know what to tell you, AJ Brown. And then the one on the last drive over the middle, dude. Listen to this last last
Dude,
drive over the middle, right through his hands,
right through his hands.
dude.
Eh,
I don't want to say he quit because it's a violent game, dude. But
he quit.
I'm not gonna say he gave it all. I'm definitely not gonna say that.
He definitely
I'm
didn't give
definitely
it
not
all. I
gonna
mean,
say
you
that.
can see that in watching it. Like I said, especially that first long deep ball.
And
Um,
this is all
you know,
season. He's quit on plays against the
all
Vikings.
season.
He quit on plays.
By the way,
There was a
and
deep
this
ball
is
where against the Buccaneers, he stopped the running. Like this is a common occurrence from this guy.
this is what's wild. I saw, and of course the media, and I'm going to give credit to ESPN. I forget which account it was, but they're the only one talking about this because everyone, of course, is using this as an opportunity once again to go after Jalen Hurts. Well, do you know what Jalen Hurts' numbers would be without
Mm,
those drop? But here's my point to put it in the context. What ESPN said: the Philadelphia Eagles dropped four third down passes more than they dropped the entire season.
mm,
I
brutal.
mean, you catch
It's the details, dude. The little things. I mean, you
little
lost the game.
things.
Lost the game
I
right
mean,
there.
you catch 2 of those. Actually, I mean, really, you just catch one of those, and we probably win the game. But I was gonna say you catch 2 of those, and Jalen Hurts is throwing for over 300 yards.
Yeah, and then there's
It's
that
like
one. I know Devontae dropped a pass over the middle.
Devontae dropped
Saquon
one over the
Barkley
middle.
dropped one, dude. Like he had a good 7, 8 yards of nobody around him. Just drops it, picks
Nobody.
up. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
I could go on and on about
Um,
AJ Brown, dude. The
on and
thing
on.
is, he
And
compares himself to these guys.
yeah,
That's
exactly. And
Jamar
and to
Chase. Like even the guys in today's day and age, Jamar Chase is catching that ball. I mean, don't tell
oh
me
yeah,
he's not. What's his name from the Seahawks? Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's catching that ball.
dude, Christian
Um,
McCaffrey is catching that ball,
yeah, McCaffrey's catching that
and he's a
ball.
running back.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's catching the ball. Justin
They're all
Jefferson's
catching
catching.
it.
Like these guys are all catching that ball, but they're not, none
AJ
of them are even
AJ
as loud
Brown
as AJ Brown is.
AJ
That's the part
Brown
of it
was an
too.
absolute embarrassment yesterday, and then he doubled down and showed that he's not the man is not a man because then he doubled down by skirting out
Oh
and
yeah,
not facing
yeah,
the music
yeah. I
like
did
a
a video on
little
that.
coward.
I did a video on that today as well.
Little
Dude
coward.
ran away
Ran away.
while Devontae Smith is swallowing his pride and tucking his chin, as they say, and taking the lumps. AJ Brown runs away. And then
AJ
did you see
short arms
today?
passes.
Today, Quinton
Hmm.
Mitchell comes in and there's like a AJ Brown signed
Yeah,
jersey.
yeah, yeah.
Dude, AJ,
Because AJ's trying to create more drama.
yeah, yeah. This
But
guy
basically,
is.
he wants now to people to do basically, honestly, to be fair, what we're doing right now is, oh, he's saying he's leaving. But here's the thing, AJ Brown, you can't leave. Like, that's the other thing. And I'll tell you what, hopefully, unless Howie Roseman also wants to get fired, they don't just get rid of him for anything if they are going to get rid of him because it's going to be a huge cap hit. So you sure as hell better get something good
This is
for
my
AJ
question.
Brown.
This is my question. Because I'm there with you, right? But we do understand the cap hit, and we've talked about, well,
Yeah,
are other teams willing to take on some of that? This is the question
exactly.
that I have following that game. What's the cap hit for the Raiders to trade Crosby? What's that cap hit? Well,
That's a great question. I don't
what's that
actually
cap
know,
hit?
but I have entertained that exact thing.
Like
I did it. Yeah.
what is that cap hit?
What is that? Yeah.
Like if they're
Um,
willing, if it's pretty much an even swap of both teams are just taking dead money, then even it is. But
yeah.
that of everything that pissed me off the most, of everything that game pissed me off the most, I saw people being critical of the defense. Guys, if we're forcing 2 turnovers on defense, I don't have anything else to tell you. And we're not
Yeah, I
capitalizing on
mean,
these turnovers either. I don't
we
I
the
I really
defense
don't know what else
was
to tell you. It was
the
getting gashed in the
defense
passing game. I agree. It wasn't
was a
as
problem.
good.
Well,
It wasn't as good as it was all season, but
they got
if
that
we're forcing 2
there was
turnovers, we need to win that game.
some bad defense early. That like that on that first touchdown. But then that big one, and I mentioned his touchdown catch was and I want to say a couple of things about this because
Blankenship.
it also goes back to our offense. That pass to McCaffrey, yeah, Blankenship just let he was going to him. And for whatever reason, I don't know why he thought maybe Purdy had space to run when we also had other defenders there, but he just let McCaffrey run right by him, knowing there's no backside help. Now, but here's the other thing I want to share on that, and this goes to the offense. I think this is a great example, and I want to. Again, I always try and be fair. I will criticize when necessary, and I've been hard on Dan Orlovsky, some of his takes, but I want to be fair to Dan work because he pointed this out. And you know what's one of the things I've been saying about Patullo all season, that it's not just the play calling, it is the play sequencing, right? And how you
Mm,
set things up later.
mm.
Dan Orlovsky actually walked through this on a video where he showed the exact same formation like 2 plays before
49ers
as that
setting it up, right?
McCaffrey touchdown,
Yep.
right? And he set up the defense in terms of paying attention to that backside,
Mm,
and they were leaving the space for that McCaffrey went into. He set it up 2 plays before that, then runs it there and gets a touchdown. That is the difference between Kyle Shanahan and a completely terrible offensive coordinator named Kevin Patullo, who has no idea what he's doing.
mm.
And to finish that though, and this is why I'm like on all of them, not even I'm not even going to get into, oh, well, Nick gave him the job and that's so it's on Nick. That is true. But can we talk about the conversation we all saw on the 4th and 11 that decided the season, where Nick Sirianni, who's the head coach, wanted nothing to do with deciding on what play they were going to call. He's just listening into the
Yeah, just
conversation
standing
between
there.
Hurts and
Yeah.
Kevin Patullo, who clearly Kevin Patullo had no idea what he was doing. Hurts looked very unhappy. And then even Nick Sirianni himself it looked, I'm just trying to read facial cues,
He
looked
looked
like he was kind of
confused.
like,
He looked
yeah, he's kind of like,
confused.
oh, really? But I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
Nick, you're the head coach. You're supposed to be an offensive guy. Here's the thing, man. Look, people can say what they want about Nick and the winning. I get it, but I think people like to talk about Hurts being carried. I think Nick Sirianni has been carried with great players, great offensive coordinators the 2 years we went to the Super Bowl,
Mhm,
and great defense.
mhm,
And he never called plays himself before. He's not like if you have a head coach who's supposed to be an offensive guy and he's not and he doesn't call plays, there's no reason for him to be a head coach,
mm.
right?
Y
Like there's no reason to have him here.
Yeah, that last play, um, I think all 3 are to blame. Patullo and Sirianni get the largest slice of that pie, with Jalen Hurts getting a little piece of it.
Yeah.
And we talked about this like a week and a half ago, dude. Like, what type of control does he have at the line of scrimmage to just hot route some guys and change it up a little bit? Like, I
Well,
understand if you're so disgusted with what you're seeing, if you're so disgusted with what you're hearing, and we've given you credit throughout this year to what do they say, go rogue when you're throwing it deep to AJ Brown. Like, dude, go rogue and try to make a play happen. And I will say this lastly, because I did see like the view from behind the play. Did you like the field
the end zone, the
the end
22.
zone, yeah, the end
Yeah,
zone cam?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Of all the throws, that was the worst. Of all
Oh,
of the
see, I
throws, that
actually
was the
saw it
worst
differently
throw,
than
dude.
that.
Like, you're throwing it
I
right in the
actually saw it
middle
differently
of the
than that.
field.
I mean,
And then we can go
he
prior where I think Tom Brady's even talking about it. All right, you got one-on-ones all across. You got one-on-ones all across the line. You got AJ Brown up top. You got Devontae Smith in the slot. You got
no,
Jahan
I think
Dotson on the
yeah,
bottom. And we
I think Tom was wrong.
throw it to Dotson on the bottom. It's like,
I mean, I'll look at it. I'll look at it
shit.
again, but I think
Different
Tom
plays,
was.
different plays, different plays,
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm
different
sorry. I
plays,
thought you were
different
talking about
plays.
the one over the middle on the 4th down.
I started off with that one. The one with Tom Brady I'm
Okay,
talking
okay,
about
okay,
is the Jahan
okay, okay.
Dotson when
I
he
see.
tossed it to
Okay,
Dotson in
fair,
the end zone.
fair. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, dude, just throw it to
yeah,
fucking AJ Brown. Like,
yeah.
just
Although
throw it to one
you
of
know
these
what?
one-on-one
It's it,
guys.
It's funny that you brought that up because we have so many
It's
issues that
fried.
we
It's
obviously
fried.
saw yesterday that we need to
Yeah.
talk about that
Yeah.
I don't want to get into blaming officials on things, but even if we grant that the decision was wrong to go to Dotson, 100% that's defensive pass
Yeah.
interference.
No, yeah, I
You
hear
know what
you.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
like we could it can be both. You could say he should have gone to AJ, but it was because I mean he didn't know there was going to be pass interference, but it also was clearly an uncalled pass interference call.
Yeah, like,
Um,
I
but
just don't know what
I
the
like don't even want to get
determination
into
is,
that.
like, I'm only gonna look at Dotson's way, like, that's what it seems like the determination was before he even hiked the ball, like, hike, I'm just throwing it to Dotson no matter who's on him. I don't know, man,
Well,
that's
I
just me.
I think my guess is that was his first read, and he liked what he saw. And I mean, we can disagree with it, but that would be my guess. And I think part of what plays into that, and we've talked about this before, and I've also seen people who really know what they're doing, who break down video and explain this as well, is when you have, let's say you've got three receivers out there, right? And you have your progressions 1, 2, 3. The way plays should be designed that Kevin Patullo completely ignores is you look to your one. The timing of everything is that if your one's not there, the amount of time it takes to make that decision, and then look at your two is when the two is doing whatever it is they should be doing at the time you need to be throwing, right? And then the same thing with three. But the Eagles plays are not designed that way. The
I hear
two
you.
may be the two may be going 5 yards and
Yeah.
sitting down, but if your one is going 15 and you're looking, by the time you look to your two, completely covered because he's done running his route.
Yeah.
You know what? So I can see why Jalen is going to go to the one more often because even a 50-50, he's going to like that better than getting to something that's already done.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. A couple times yesterday too, and this is a thought that I actually had during the game, and Brady brought it up. I was like, dude, I feel like the pocket's not really collapsing, but he's running out of the pocket. Like I just saw him like abandoning pockets yesterday,
Yeah.
and I thought to myself,
I
I'm
saw
like,
that a
dude,
couple
why?
times.
Like why? I thought to myself.
Here and
Like if
understand
you
this is
abandon too
not
fast, you don't even choose to
yeah.
scan the offense, you know?
Here now this is just a guess. This is not a
What up,
in
Samurai?
defense of, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is just trying to understand the thought process is with everything we know about the Eagles offense on certain plays, Jalen Hurts may feel that there's nothing about this that's good and going to work. And I feel more confident if I just get out into space to my right that I'm more likely to make something happen with a receiver getting open or
Mhm.
being able to pick up a few yards scrambling. I'm not saying he's right because you're right. Sometimes quarterbacks leave too early and they shouldn't. I'm just saying
Yeah,
if
like
I'm
what
him, that could be my thought
Yeah,
process, right or wrong. I'm
watching the
not saying it's
game,
right.
because I did see some feedback about him, like, using his legs yesterday, but watching the game, I was more perturbed by the abandoning the pocket than him not running the ball. That
Yeah.
I you know,
Well, I mean,
until I even looked on Twitter, dude, like, him not running the ball didn't even cross my mind, to be honest with you. Like,
yeah,
it
no,
wasn't even a
I mean
thing to me.
that doesn't bother me that
Yeah.
much, really. But and to that point, another thing that's really irked and I don't think it was talked about enough because there was so much Jalen Hurts nonsense is not only, but see, this is what I'm saying. There was too much to overcome for this talented offense because you had a couple of things always happening. They would be in second and third and long because of really bad play calling. I think we all know that. And more often than not, if it's third and long, Kevin Patullo gives up and just runs the ball up the middle and we punt. Okay. But the other thing, if we actually get a few yards and we get into, second and 6 or second and 5 or even third and 3, inevitably we get a dumbass penalty because this offense is penalized all the time. I'll give you a couple, right? And they killed, look,
What was it, a
anyone
Cam
who knows
Jurgens hold?
football.
Was it a Cam Jurgens hold?
That's what I was going to get to when you talked about the running. The one time Jalen runs and gets a great run and we're going down to score a touchdown, Cam Jurgens holds on a guy that had no chance of tackling Jalen Hurts. And now
Mhm,
that kills the drive. Fred Johnson a couple times with a false start that killed drives.
mhm,
Penalties kill drives.
mhm.
The Eagles offense is heavily penalized. And then you add bad play calling, and it's amazing that we weren't shut out every game we played, really.
Yeah. I just want to get to this because this is it's a super chat. Roland Diaz, appreciate you
Oh,
coming
okay.
by.
I missed it. Thank
Best
you,
part of
Roland. Appreciate
yesterday.
it, man.
Best part of yesterday is I'll never have to watch Patullo again. Pay Davis and Carter, then hire Byron Leftwich. Revamp the O line, please. Much love, y'all, and excited for your off-season content. Appreciate that, Roland.
Yeah, Roland, shout out. Really
Yeah,
appreciate that. And yeah, I look, man, I hope you're right. I really do. We cannot. And it honestly, I know things move slower usually, but it pisses me off that Howie hasn't fired Kevin Patullo
dude, it is.
already.
I will
Like,
say
let's get
this.
a move on and interview people.
Yeah, I will say this. It is going to feel like a knife going through my chest when we don't resign to Kobe Dean. That's
Yeah.
gonna hurt me bad, dude.
Yeah.
Bad.
And I gotta I wanna Roland makes another good point, and this is where I talk about and I said this at the very beginning, so there might only been a couple of you on here and more on coming in. Thank you for being here. We talked about how short a Super Bowl window can be, that we've been spoiled by the last 6, 7 years. And yeah, we went to a Super Bowl last year, but we could be Dallas and not go for 30 years, right? And we talked about how this is a great example of that timing and why hiring Kevin Patullo was ridiculous because, like you mentioned, Roland mentioned pay Davis, pay Carter. Well, you know what? We also got to pay Jalen Phillips if we want to keep him around. And Kobe Dean is going to be a free agent, and Reed Blankenship's going to be a free agent. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't add up. The talent and what they will get offered elsewhere does not add up to what the available cap space is for the Eagles. That, like, even if Howie said, I want to pay everyone, blank checkbook,
Yeah.
can't do it. Can't
Yep.
do it unless guys decide, hey, I'm going to come back and take a pay
For less.
cut,
Yeah.
right? Dallas Goddard, we're not going to be able to pay Dallas
Yeah.
Goddard.
The same way the Chiefs said, I'm gonna roll with Chris Jones as my guy who's gonna be here through the dynasty. Howie Roseman
Yeah,
needs to make the same choice. This is the guy who I'm gonna ride throughout this run.
right,
But I mean, if you think about it, dude, I'm just looking at we have 2021 where we lost to Tampa Bay in the playoffs. We got 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 5 years of a Super Bowl window. We've been there twice. We won once.
right.
You know,
I mean, that's a long time,
yeah,
actually.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you
And
know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. The window's
that's
been,
what I'm saying. This may have been the last year for that.
yeah,
And we go
yeah,
out and hire Kevin Patullo again, a guy who has
yeah,
never called plays at any level of the sport.
yeah. Now,
I like
that goes
I feel
to
like maybe like were we all I feel like they snuck this in on it. Like we were all as fans all so high on the Super Bowl win that they
yeah.
snuck this in and we didn't get a chance to say, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Now, since you brought this up, CDS, I told you I had a hot take for you, CDS.
Let's hear it, man.
I told you I had a hot
Let's
take,
hear it.
dude.
We deserve them right now. We deserve some hot takes.
And I'm sure this team. I'm sure a good part of this team is gonna come back next year. I'm sure of it, dude. But in my
There'll be a lot of
mind,
changes, man. There'll be a lot of changes.
in my mind, like this iteration of the Eagles is done. It's finished. The Sirianni, Patullo, Hurts, like this iteration of the team is done. Because I was doing a little bit of looking, and the year before Doug Peterson got fired, they went 4-11. This team didn't look this. Yes, we were what 11-6, right? Yes, we were
Yeah,
11
yeah,
6,
yeah.
but very easily with how bad this offense looked, this could have been a 7-10. Sirianni's last year, Patullo's last year. We're going through
Well,
a total rebuild this season, dude. Like
yeah.
it
But
felt like
and
that Super Bowl team
yeah,
died yesterday, and they need to
it did.
completely turn this
And
whole
here's
fucking
two
shit around,
yeah,
man.
two things to that point, okay? When you said like this Super Bowl like team
Send
died,
Chris
you
Bruce,
again,
send Chris
you go
Bruce a link. He needs to vent. He's
it it goes
Chris
back
Bruce. How you doing, man?
it goes back to what I said about, how high Dallas was riding in the early mid 90s, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And then they never came back. But
yeah. Just like that.
also the other parallel, the way you were talking about how easily we could have been, 7-10 or whatever, and how close our games are. Now we didn't go as far in the playoffs, but tell me what you just said does not sound very much like last year's Kansas City Chiefs, right?
Ex-
Somehow
Yep.
finding ways to
Yep.
win games, somehow winning all these close games. And then look at the Kansas City Chiefs this year,
Yeah. And I've made
right?
this comparison numerous times. This reeks more like the Seahawks situation. Like once they lost to the Patriots,
Oh,
yeah,
the
they were
Russell Wilson team and
competitive here and there, but they're just not the same team. They don't have the same edge. They don't have the same swag. A couple guys left, a couple guys stayed, but they're just not the same. You know, they still have the head coach, Pete Carroll. I'm sure we'll still have Syria. Like, I don't want that. I
agree.
damn near want a
Well,
whole entire new.
well,
I want to turn this.
yeah.
I want to turn this leaf all over, man. To be honest with you,
I want to bring up something. I want to bring up something, and I mentioned
I
this
want to
to
turn this
you
whole
right
shit
before we
over,
got
man.
on, right when we were kind of going over things we wanted to talk about. And I'm curious what everyone thinks in the chat as well, because this is what I don't want, kind of like what you're saying, and this is why I'm like, get rid of Nick, like wipe the slate clean, rebuild quickly. We still have a good core of like young talent. Let's get some pieces around it. I hope we make a splash in free agency, and I think I think we need to make a splash with someone somewhere else as opposed to just re-signing guys, just in terms of the vibe around the team. But also, and I said this,
Dude, the Brown Crosby swap, man. That's
yeah, but
the
that could
switch right
be, but
there.
that wouldn't happen till like June. But what I was going to say is, what I don't want is the Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh situation, right? All we keep hearing about is what a great coach Mike Tomlin is. And he's been there 19 years and he's never had a losing record. And it's like, yes, but in those 19 years, they won a Super Bowl back in 2012, 20, no, 13 or 14. Um, the last playoff win, guys, not the last time to a Super Bowl or an AFC championship, last playoff win, 2016.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen here.
That's what I'm saying. But you have to make those, like, bringing back Nick Sirianni
Yeah,
leans in
what
that
I'm saying,
direction.
if they bring him back and it's anything short of like a Super Bowl or a conference championship appearance, dude, I think Lori's done with him, bro. I do.
But
I
well,
do.
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
I think he should
he
be done
dipped
this
off
year.
Reed, he dipped off Chip Kelly, he dipped off Peterson. Like that's what that's what I'm saying. Like as easily as we did go 11-6, this could have been
Yeah.
the Peterson 4-12 season,
But there's a
and he would
key
have been dipped off.
there's a key difference in those that we need to talk about. And this is why we have to also put a little of this on Howie Roseman. First of all, he didn't have a good year this year. We saw in the final game in the regular season, this team has no depth, right? We saw that especially with the defense and the back line and all, the secondary and all that. There's no depth on this team, right? That which is a scary thing. The moves at the trade deadline, Jalen Phillips worked out, but the others were a disaster. Allowing Kevin Patullo was a disaster. But here's the other thing, to your point about the guys you just mentioned, huge difference between them and Nick Sirianni. They hired Nick Sirianni because of those guys. And what I mean by that is Chip Kelly, Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson got fired because Doug Peterson wanted more control and more power in the decision making. Chip Kelly, same thing. Now, Chip Kelly also ended up being a disaster, so it was easier.
Mm.
They went and hired Nick Sirianni because they said, here's a guy that's a figurehead. Here's a guy we control. Here's a guy that's going to be perfectly happy to be here without demanding the power that we want to keep for ourselves.
Yeah.
Right. That's important because
it's gonna get
this is not
loud.
new. I admit this is not
Dude,
new. People have talked about this when Nick was
CDS.
hired.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, man. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, bro.
Hit me with it.
5-12 next year. Like that. Like that's what I'm saying, dude. I just felt like I feel like it's over.
Well, you know what?
I feel like it's over, dude. It's over.
You know what?
It's over.
What? To that point, and this is where it gets crazy, and this is why maybe it backfired a little. I mean, yeah, we're not going to have an easy schedule because we're going to have a first place schedule. We are going to have a first place schedule.
Yeah, it's
and we're not really a team that was, first place. I mean, we were technically, but
yeah. And then you look and like all of our and you look at our playmakers. I mean,
Chris Bruce is 100% right. By the way,
we've been very hard on Saquon all year. I mean, 2 good games isn't going to get me to switch my thoughts, dude. He's going to be a year older next year. The line's going to be a year older next year. And I did see Eagles brother say, get was it Eagles or was it Chris Bruce saying to get offensive line help?
Oh, yeah.
I was rolling DS.
Absolutely need
offensive line help, but
absolutely need that, man.
Now that's the thing, Roland. That's the thing. Here we go. Right? You guys want Sirianni gone? 5-12 is how to get him is how to get him gone.
No.
He's fucking cooked.
No,
after 5-12,
I don't even want to hear having to go through that. For me, Nick Sirianni is cooked enough that we don't need another season of Nick Sirianni to be bad for him to go. He needs to go now. now.
No, I know the feeling, but I'm saying the only way that that's
I know
gonna
what you're
happen.
saying.
Yeah, yeah,
More realistic.
yeah.
I know what you're saying more. But
Now I
to
will
that
say
point about
this.
the O line,
I will say this. The only other way Sirianni gets fired is if instead of the Eagles reaching out to him, Harbaugh reaches out to the Eagles. I would say they're not
possible.
calling me. They're not calling me.
Oh,
Call them.
can I
Call them and see
let
what
me ask you
and see what they say.
let me ask you a question. And because to that point, and chat, let me know as well, because there are people obviously saying get rid of Nick and hire John Harbaugh. Right when John Harbaugh got fired, every team looking for a head coach contacted him. Right, and this is the way to kind of look at where we're at with the coaching. Right, and that is not unexpected to any of us. I don't think. Right, like he got fired and he instantly became the number one guy in this cycle.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. If we wake up tomorrow and the big Eagles news is Nick Sirianni has been fired, do you think there's a scramble of NFL teams who need a head coach contacting Nick Sirianni? I do not.
No, now CDS because I told you that about the rebuild CDS. I told you about this. I don't think there's a whole lot of teams saying, "Oh, is Jalen Hurts available?" I don't think so either. I don't think so either. In terms of like a total rebuild, new quarterback, new everything. Like I don't feel like there's a scramble of teams reaching out for
I
Hurts
don't.
either.
I don't. I
I want to get. I want Harbaugh. Did you see the news about his demands coming to a team?
no.
He wants $10 million budget to build his staff. That reeks of an all-star staff. You know what I mean?
I actually have no idea what a staff would be money wise. I mean, that sounds like a lot, but I don't know. It seems like the
Yeah, I
staff
mean,
is
I
like
don't know what
80,
the
100 people, but
well
yeah, well,
coaching staff. I think he's talking
yeah,
OCs,
yeah,
DCs,
well, yeah. But like,
special
who?
teams,
Okay,
and
like the
yeah,
main people.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and see, that's where it gets interesting too, and then that also goes back
Yeah,
to the.
some isn't a lot, pretty dime. Sorry, CDS. Go ahead. No, I hear you. I hear you. Oh no, I don't
Okay.
hear you. No, I hear
No, I
you.
was going to say is another thing that is really important is the. Hold on a second. Okay. Sorry. Is how, making it clear with Nick. Say Nick comes back, right? A conversation has to be had. Look, man, we want to go out and get a really good offensive coordinator. And at this point, with all Jalen's been through, it doesn't even matter if it's a one season rental. Okay. So, but it has to be made clear,
Yeah,
Nick, your hands are off, man. You are not involved. You are not making decision making about the play. You can decide if you want to go for it on 4th and 1 in a game, but that's it, man. You're not designing the plays. You're not calling the plays. You're not having input on the playbook. You're done. You're out. You can be our motivational figurehead, but we are going to get somebody who knows what they are doing.
yeah.
We're going to go get a Brian Daboll or a Kevin Stefanski or a Mike McDaniel,
Now I will
and
say
they're
this:
going to do what they do.
aside from the losing, the thing that I would be wary of bringing Nick back.
Aside from the losing,
Travis Kelce went after Andy Reid. Andy Reid didn't run down Travis Kelce on the sideline.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like as a player, dude, I don't know if I want to go to a team whose head coach is running down the field to get into my face because I'm a step off. You know, that was bad optically. That was bad optically, dude.
That's interesting.
Again,
That's
it's not a
interesting.
play. It's not like Travis. It's not because Travis Kelce ran up on Andy Reid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sirianni, he ran down on AJ Brown.
It's
Dude, he's just fed up with AJ Brown subtweeting as we all are. Let's be honest,
well,
man.
it's
Sirianni's
interesting
done with
because
AJ Brown's bullshit too.
well, that's it, and it's interesting because optically it is bad, and I looked at it, and that's my first reaction to what the hell. But then I started thinking about it and thinking about the fact that I have coached, and Nick Sirianni is got this guy making $1 gazillion, who has shown a lack of effort in a playoff game, who drops everything thrown to him, and he's being lazy about getting off the field on time. I gotta say, I'm not saying I run down there and make a scene, but I'm pretty pissed off, and at some point, I'm having words about it with that player as well.
Absolutely. Now
Right?
it's funny you have this. It's funny that you have this opinion because when he was talking shit in the tunnel and AJ Brown grilled him,
Right.
to where we are now. We kind of did a reverse with
Yeah,
how we
no,
both
you're right. Well,
viewed both of those
but that just shows
instances.
that we try and be fair about these
No,
things, right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Like I can't stand. I mean, I wish I sat here how long and said I want Nick gone yesterday,
Because dude,
but
I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
think he
bro.
was wrong
Yeah,
there.
I'm telling you, he's fed up with his shit, man. Like he's
He
fed up.
is. Yeah.
He's fed up with that shit. Um, yeah, and I
Yeah,
guess
yeah, Rizzy, is that yeah, taking
taking
both
both
to the
of them,
woodshed.
yeah.
That
And I
works. Yeah,
guess it's
man.
now time for um to address Howie Roseman, man. Like the Eagles
Yeah.
were
Howie Roseman. Wow.
well, it's a lot of it because they were undeniably the more talented team yesterday. Like as far as just
Oh
talent all
yeah.
across the
Oh
board.
yeah. Just yeah.
Um yeah.
I still think now we talked about how the Rams were our biggest concern, but and they were. And look, it's the NFL. Anyone can win, right? But I still think on paper, the Eagles were the most talented team in the
Yeah.
NFC.
Yeah, he
Here are the problem. I want to lay out real quick, and then I'll let you respond and get into Howie. I mean, well, like I mentioned about the Washington game, we saw that this team, unlike in the past, no depth,
yeah.
right?
Oh
The
my gosh,
we are
sorry, because we were talking about stupid plays like 15 minutes ago. I'm really late to the party, dude. But Epps with the hands to the face on that third down stop to keep the
yeah
49ers drive going, dude. Bad, bad,
yeah
bad. Hands to the dude ripped his helmet off. Well, you're not expecting a penalty to be called. You're fucking ripping his helmet off, dude. Sorry, go ahead.
but so you've got man, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, my
Um,
bad.
no, that's all right. That's all right. I mean,
The
you
last
made a
game, you were
good
talking
point.
about the
Oh
last
yeah,
game of
yeah.
the
Well,
season.
talk about the secondary, like right. We saw it with Ringo. I mean, that secondary, the backup secondary, is not even they're not even NFL players, right?
Mm.
We have no depth, and we've got a lot of free agents that we've already talked about that a lot of them probably will not return. I mean, like to your point, this is a serious overhaul that is needed. Not even with look, we lost, we are going to wipe the slate clean by trading a bunch of guys and this and that. We are forced to change everything
Yeah.
because if we don't get depth, if we don't, we're going to have to go out and get guys because we're going to lose free agents. We have no offensive line. The offensive line, as crazy as it sounds to talk about it with the Eagles, the offensive line is terrible. Right there was not a good offensive lineman this season.
The scariest part of that, dude, like yesterday's Saquon's runs were to the right side, the injured side.
Yeah. Well, that's what Mulatto wasn't good this year.
That's
Mulatto
what
was not.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like not on the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame side. The replacement side were the best runs that he had all day
Yeah.
yesterday. That's not a
Yeah.
good look, man. It's not a good look.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was
What's up, Battle
so
Post?
so think about it. You've got the secondary, even the starter, right? Like Reed Blankenship is a free agent. I don't know that they re-sign him. I don't know that they're going to want to pay him what he might be able to get paid elsewhere. He's also kind of at that age where it's like, do you really want to lock him
Yeah,
up?
yeah.
As
Well, you
good
also
as the defense was this year, I think
well
maybe he was the
you
biggest
also
weak
got
link.
you got Makuba sitting there, so it's easier to
Yeah,
say
but then
say
right, but then that's the
he's
thing, too. Who are the other safeties?
who
Right,
is
that's
our
what
other
I'm
safety
saying.
right
Like,
now? Reed and who?
Epps will probably be Epps could be the starter. Epps and Makuba could be the starters.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Epps is probably the best backup in the secondary that we have. I mean, that penalty was dumb, but he played. See it overall played solid when he got back. But we have no cornerbacks. I mean, you know what I mean? Like no depth, right? We've got
Yeah.
linebackers. You've got. I mean, Nakobe Dean, I guess technically sometimes they list him as a linebacker, same with Jalen Hunt, but I don't think Nakobe Dean's probably not playing, so Campbell's going to have to come in there. But again, when you do that, that also means what? No depth.
Yeah. Well,
And it's the
Dean made
NFL,
it
right?
seem like he's
It's
gone.
football.
Blankenship made it seem like
Yeah,
he's gone.
it's football, right? You need depth.
Yeah.
That's why I'm talking about. Like, if this was the NBA, I wouldn't be like, oh, we need that number 9 guy on the bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's the NFL, and you do need that. You know, so there's a lot that has to be covered in the draft and free agency because again, wait, who are the free agents? Is it it's Davis this year, right? Not Carter. Did we drafted Davis the year before? These Georgia guys, I get them confused now
Yeah.
when they got here. Right? So I think is it Davis is a free agent this year or next year? Do you remember?
I can check
Anyone
that for
know
you.
any?
Go ahead. I can check
Um,
that.
because I'm just trying to think of like these guys. Like, well, obviously Phillips may not return. N'Kobe Dean may not return. Reed Blankenship may not return. That's on the defensive side. Look, I mean, I think I don't.
Davis
Do
is
we even want to?
Dean is a fucking game wrecker, man.
Yeah. Do we even want to? And to be fair, well, I guess if he's got a contract, it doesn't matter. But if we
Davis
can,
is
I
next
don't,
year. Davis is
Davis
next
is
year. He
next year.
says.
Okay. I don't know. Do we even want at this point? Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this because I love the guy. He's been a warrior. But do we even want Lane Johnson back next year?
Oh
At this
yeah, dude.
point, with his age, and
You,
because that's the other thing, we were kind of gaslit there too a few weeks ago. Oh, Lane Johnson's practicing. Oh, Lane Johnson might be back for this game. And Lane Johnson not coming back at all and not playing in a playoff game tells me Lane Johnson is seriously hurt.
you got to go up to him and be like, dude, just retire an Eagle, man. Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I mean, I would love for him to go out on a higher note than this, but I also don't want to see him come back and be bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
To your point, like you said, Saquon Barkley. What are we going to get out of Saquon Barkley next year? To me, and I look, everyone just like I'm not trying
If
to
this
hate.
was baseball, I would say wholesale. If this was baseball, you know how he's,
Right.
it's just a
Well, that's
wholesale
kind of what I
deadline,
mean.
dude. Yeah.
I'm trying to be fair and objective. I love Saquon. I love him coming here from the Giants. We got a Super Bowl with him. His year was amazing, and completely respect that. But being a fan, looking at we want to get back and stay good and get to the Super Bowl, has he served his purpose? And now, do we? Because look, here's the other thing. Tank Bixby also. Not only did we want to see him more, but the man's not old, right? Like
No, he's young. He's
Tank
really young.
Bixby could be the number one guy next year.
Dude, 1, 2, 3, 4 games. Saquon had over 100 yards. 4 games.
Yeah, I mean that's
I mean,
he had 1,100 yards for the season. He averaged. Now he did later in the season get his average up a little bit, but it was still what was it 1.7 yards per carry less than last year. Now I get last year was a career year. I get that. But we're talking about a significant drop off, yet he's still got a lot of carries. Right?
yeah,
I mean, Tank did not get enough carries. And I think now, and that's the other thing. What is Saquon like mentally in terms of his ego? And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean, if you went to Saquon and say, hey man, next year it is going to be a two-headed monster.
but even his body, you know what I mean?
Right. But that's what I'm saying. But if he's getting, say he's getting 10 to 12 carries a game, can he be effective that way? You know what I mean? You give him 10 to 12, you give Tank 10 to 15, I mean, literally you split them. Is that going to be effective? Because I don't think Saquon can be a 20 carry a guy next year, 20 carry a game next year. Why does Jalen refuse to
Is it
run?
always is it always cap hits with guys that are under contract? Is it always cap hits?
It depends. How much the cap hit is. Really,
Okay.
it's so wild, man. This is why the Eagles have done a great job, not just with Howie, but the guys they've had around Howie who figure all this out because it is ridiculous. It really depends. You can't look at their number for that year for their income and be like, oh, well, that's the cap hit, because it depends how everything is structured, how much is guaranteed, how much of that guarantee is up front. Like,
Because
it's wild.
I told you how I feel, bro. What can I get for him? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Barring cap it, like at this point, what can I get? I'd much rather see what Tank looks like with 25 to 30 than a platoon.
That's fine.
You know
That's
what I
fine
mean?
if we can get something for Saquon.
Yeah.
Roland, you know what? I think we mentioned that right in the beginning, or Ben and I might have talked about that before we even got live.
Oh yeah, Roland. No,
yeah,
Roland's
bring
been
in
on the
competition
line
for Jake. Jake may be gone. I mean, I don't
know.
know.
Roland, you've been here. Chris, Bruce, you've been here. You guys know how I've been on Jake Elliott all year.
Guys,
man. You guys know.
Here's the thing. Jake makes a lot of money.
Yeah, just resign him.
Speaking of cap hit
like a year and a
stuff,
half
right?
ago.
Speaking of cap hit stuff, Jake makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
Chris says I don't think Saquon would turn that down. Yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see. Nick and KP, those names mean nothing to me now. Nick and KP are not going to be part of this. I have spoken. There's no Nick and KP anymore.
Darlene, I've seen you in the chat. I know you've been doing a little bit of trolling and some real talk, so I appreciate that. Darlene, Since week 1, week 2, I've been on AJ Brown. I've been out on AJ Brown for a long time, man. Dude, I forget what this guy's name is. Where the fuck is that one guy who was saying so many nice things and how delusional I was when I was going after AJ Brown that one live? You remember? I'm sure Chris
Oh, that
Brewster
was so
earlier.
long
I'm
ago,
sure,
man. I don't
dude.
know.
This guy
I
was
don't
was was
remember.
holding AJ Brown's jock strap. Yeah,
Yeah.
nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be
Well,
seen.
you know what? Can we let's talk about that for a minute too? Oh, by the way, that's a good example with the cap hit. Like AJ Brown's cap hit's weird. Here's to I can't remember the number off my top of my head. One, it's less after June, but also
20,
to that point, Ben, here's a good example of how weird it can get.
20
The
after June,
cap
I
hit,
believe.
the cap hit if he's traded versus the cap hit if he's cut is like 20 or 30 million dollars difference. It's a lot more if he's cut.
Oh, okay, so yes, yeah,
In that
yeah,
example.
yeah,
Okay.
dude,
So
do what the Giants did to OBJ. Just send his ass to Cleveland.
oh man.
Send his ass to. You don't like it here? All right, go to Cleveland, buddy. Go to Cleveland,
Yeah, I
where
mean
careers go to die.
a-
Josh Gordon dead, OBJ dead,
actually
Allen
actually, you know
Robinson
what?
dead.
I don't know what they if it could work out if there's something they could give up, but if Cleveland's serious about, bringing along Shador, they might actually be interested in getting somebody like AJ Brown.
Oh yeah, dude, nothing would fucking stunt his growth more than a loudmouth diva receiver in his ear every play and a half.
Yeah, but you know what? Looking at that from our perspective, actually just from a fan perspective, but even more so from our perspective, do you know how awesome for all of us in terms of entertainment value, the drama would be having Shador Sanders and AJ Brown on the same team, QB wide receiver? Come on, admit it.
Yeah, yeah,
That would be epic. That would be a reality show. That in and of itself should be a reality show.
yeah,
I would watch that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted Nick on after his
yeah.
2-5
Two
start in his
two
first
back
season.
sets. Yeah, man. Like we've been talking about that. Seeing Tank and Battle to Paddle Post comment. Yeah, we've been asking for Tank and Saquon in the backfield for the longest. Well, why aren't these
Hey,
guys both on the field together at the same time?
you know
Why
what
don't
else we've been asking for?
shoot?
And the media, because they've got knee pads for Nick Sirianni.
Mm.
Whenever the Eagles are struggling and pressure gets on Nick, that's when you get a lot of hit pieces on Jalen Hurts by the Philly media. It is a lie that Jalen Hurts struggles and doesn't like being under center. He has advocated for it. He's very, very good at it. The problem is, if you look at everything Nick has done even before he came to Philly, he doesn't like it. He refuses to call it. We have been wanting that, and do we get it? No. Again, it's another thing that puts pressure on the talented offense. They can only overcome so much when you've got a crap offensive line because of injuries, and you've got crap play calling, you've got crap running game. And then you're adding we're going to put you in formations that are not as good. We're going to put you in formations where the defense knows what play is coming. I mean, come on, there's only so much you can do, guys.
Yeah.
In terms of the players, there's only so much. Now, I think it got to them yesterday a little bit. It was, you know what I mean? Like we talked about, AJ Brown with 75 drops, Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith, I've seen him drop 2 passes his entire career, and they were both this year.
Yeah.
And one in that game. And to be fair with Saquon, I haven't seen Saquon drop a pass
Since
since
last year against the
last
Saints.
year on the 4th and 1 and the 2 to go 2-2. I haven't seen
Yeah.
him drop a pass since then. He's got good hands. But yeah, they can only overcome so much, and that was it. Like yesterday was that point. We couldn't overcome that because that again, same old thing with the offense, right? Score some points early, and then it dies, right? And then it dies. And between the play calling that gets like uber conservative and the offensive penalties at key moments. Offensive penalties kill drives. Offensive penalties kill drives. I could say it a million times. The one other thing I would add to that, and something Tom Brady said that I think we all probably have talked about at times and feel and was so true, but you didn't see it happen. But he must have said it 10, 15, 20 times with the Eagles. tempo, tempo, tempo. You get a positive play, get to the line and call something quickly. Impossible with the to that. I want to follow up real quick, Ben, and I'll let you go to that point. I'm curious what you said because you talk a lot about is there other options? Can Jalen call out of something? And I think usually yes, but again, it's going to be something they want. But the other thing is when you're getting to the line of scrimmage and going through the process is at the very end of the clock and you're constantly snapping it with 0 seconds, where's their time to look at the defense and decide the second play option is better? There isn't.
Mm-hmm.
You can't audible out because you don't have any time at the line.
Yeah, I have to rewatch that game. because
The Jackie Moon of the Philadelphia Eagles. Nice.
Yeah, I'd have to rewatch that game because it felt 50-50 to that point. Like sometimes I was like they're rushing, but sometimes I said to myself, man, they got like 14, 15 seconds here and they're already at the line. So I have to rewatch the game to know where because I had both of those thoughts. I had thoughts like they're rushing, and then I had thoughts myself, and they don't usually get to the line this early. So I can't give you
there were a few times here or there.
I can't give you a definitive.
Again, unfortunately, it seems like the process when they do get to the line early involves a whole lot of nonsense. And to that point, I've noticed this, and it just hit me when you were talking about that. Tell me if you've seen this a lot. I've seen this a lot this year, more so this year than any other year. And again, I have to put this on coaching because it's the same players. This year, I saw a whole hell of a lot when they do get to the line before it's 2 seconds left and they have just this little bit of time. I see way too often when Jalen Hurts is having to correct guys and put them in different spots. Say, hey, you should be coming over here. You need to be going in motion. No, you need to go back that way. I see it way too often because that's telling me none of these guys are sure what the play is. They don't even know where to line up.
Yeah, I mean that's on coaching, but that's on these guys too. Like, are you guys fucking looking? Are you guys paying attention? Are you guys fucking reading the playbook?
Why wasn't it an issue before Kevin Patullo?
See, I'm not sure, but I also want to keep this in mind. We were having a lot of complaints about last year's offense too. I mean, it's not like we weren't complaining about last year's offense. It's not like AJ Brown wasn't reading a book on the sideline last year. I mean, there's always been some questions about the offense. We just had a great run game. Like I don't want to take too much away from Jalen to do, but last year nobody was stopping that run game last year, dude. Nobody was stopping anything that we were doing as far as dominating the line of scrimmage.
But if we're going to do that, then we have to be fair and say, okay, but their first trip to the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts was second in the league in MVP voting. There certainly was no Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, but he was also using his legs a lot more that first Super Bowl. He was more.
He also threw for over 3,700 yards. He threw.
I know, but I'm talking about the run game. So he utilized his legs more in the first Super Bowl run than he did this time around. It is what it is. Again, I'm not complaining that he's not using his legs more. I don't have an issue with that.
I don't either. To be
I don't get that.
If you need the quarterback to take the beating of a running back, something is wrong with your offense.
Yeah.
Right? Seriously, because again, you have Saquon Barkley and Tank Bigsby.
Yeah.
Why do you need run designs for your quarterback?
Yeah,
because
I don't have
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
People aren't saying, "Oh, he's not running enough scrambling." They're talking about legitimate run calls. Yeah, design calls for Jalen Hurts. I'm like, dude. Again, did we not just do all this complaining about why isn't Tank Bigsby actually getting in the game and getting more carries? And yet the same people are saying Jalen needs to run it more.
Yeah, I forget what the exact stat was. I'm just going to use whole numbers here. I believe one of those guys, Dan Orlovsky or somebody, in terms of design runs, last year was like 90 something, and this year is like 45. So it like got cut in half.
Yeah. But even over still the total number, you had to do that over a season. That's not a ton of runs anyway.
I'm not mad at it. That's the thing.
I know you're not. I know.
I hear you. It's just,
it's
dude. It helped a lot last year. I don't think either of us are going to get what we want, man. I don't think they're going to do a total rebuild like I want, and I don't think they're going to get rid of Sirianni like you want. I think the best compromise that we have is just Patullo being gone, and hopefully they make.
I'm gonna work hard on getting rid of Nick
because I had this thought. Because I actually did have this thought
I wish Kevin
as
Patullo had a thought.
as you were talking before, that it's unfortunate that there are so many head coaching positions open because there are so many good
Yeah.
people that you can peg for OC, like Mike
Yes.
McDaniel, but he's going to take a head coaching job, I'm sure. Even Cliff Kingsbury, I'm sure he's going to take one of these head coaching jobs, like a Titans
That was
or a
another
lesser,
name I meant to
you know what I mean,
mention.
or
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
lesser tier team. Like there are good names out there, but I think it's going to
Yeah,
be maybe
but
somebody that we haven't
the
heard
flip
of.
side of that, like, right, I think there was a lot of with Mike McDaniel, though, as one example, I think there was also a lot of not just, okay, it was a bad enough season, eventually coaches have bad seasons, even they're not bad coaches, but you make a change, you get rid of them, it's good for them, it's good for the team. But I think there was a lot of talk of Mike McDaniel's a great offensive mind, but he's not a
Not a
head
head coach.
coach.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
makes me wonder with someone like him, he might be like, you know what? I'll take an OC job at some place like Philly and I'll be fantastic. I'll get my stock back up and then I get a head coaching opportunity the next year. Same thing with Brian Daboll from the Giants, right? We could get him as the OC.
Yeah. Now, in terms of long term,
I don't
I
think
would
we're going to
probably
get a long-term guy.
that's what I'm saying. I think long term,
Yeah.
I think Dayball's more of a long term
Oh, do you?
uh, OC solution than Mike McDaniel would be.
You don't okay, you think he wouldn't want to return quickly to head coaching if it was an
Um,
opportunity? Or are you saying no one would want him to?
um,
Or both?
to be fair, I'm saying a little bit of both, dude. Like you're hearing
Yeah,
these
okay.
names, and I'm not even
Yeah,
hearing the Browns reaching out to Dayball. I'm not hearing the
right.
Raiders reaching out to Dayball. They're saying, "Can the Browns please lose so Dayball? Can the Bills lose so maybe Dayball could go back as an OC for the Bills
Oh,
or take over for McDermott?" I
I
don't
get
see him name being floated around in like the Tennessee Titans job.
yeah, I
He's just
get it.
not
I
being
get it.
mentioned really.
I get it. I hear what you're saying. I'm reading between the lines. I know you don't want to put this out there because you're nervous about saying it. I'll say it for you. What I'm hearing you say by referencing the Raiders is you want to bring in Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator.
No, no, I don't. Um,
Let's run it.
to
No,
be
well, what about Doug? What about Doug? What about Doug Peterson?
no, no. I saw somebody talk about offensive advisor in here, and I know
Something
Doug
like that.
offered
Okay.
himself earlier, bring himself.
Yeah.
But dude, again, if we're gonna keep Sirianni, because I'm pretty sure that's the play right here, you need somebody who's equally as talented as dude, a Nick Sirianni, whatever, being the emotion, the fire, whatever the fuck you want him to be, whatever, right? At this point, right? Like whatever the fuck he does, just whatever. You know what I mean? But if we have a Fangio defense and a Dayball offense,
Vic's probably not going to be around forever either. That's
I,
the other thing with the window, right? Like,
well,
he,
I think he's more Eric Bieniemy like or
no, I'm not saying he would leave for a head coaching job. I'm just saying he's getting up
age
there
wise,
and
yeah, age wise, yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
I understand
I
that.
want to make a quick point
Um,
because Philly 416 made a good point about the play calling and how Jalen deserves stability. And I get that. Like in theory, I'm with you. Like it kind of irks me that the man's entire career is a different play caller every year. Here's the problem with that. And again, this goes to again why Nick Sirianni is also a problem. Most, not all, and you get some that go back to it, like Ben and I have talked about. They get older and they'll step back. Maybe they're older, so they're okay with being an OC. But most, especially the younger ones, wizard OCs do it to eventually be a head coach. So
yeah,
they're not going to be long term as an OC somewhere,
yeah,
right? So if you want to get a really good OC and you're on a good team, especially a team that makes a run that gets to a Super Bowl, the chances are you're losing that person. So the
yeah,
only way to fix that is that's why some of these names we were talking about is you get someone that may be like that's why I mentioned Doug Peterson. Like Doug may be perfectly content with being an OC and not getting back into being a head coach. So he might be here a little longer, maybe.
yeah,
But if you're gonna, I mean, come on, like guys like Sean McVay and these are guys that when they're OCs, it's to be a head coach and they're gone. Mike McDaniel, right? And now again, Mike is we say, well, maybe that's why again, short window with the Super Bowl, right? So this might be the time. Jalen's used to it at this point. If getting a really, really good OC that gives us a shot at a Super Bowl next year means he's here for a year, we got to do it.
yeah,
But see, I wanted to get to one last thing. I'm sorry. Nick Sirianni, usually when you have an offensive minded head coach, they're basically the OC and do the play calling, but Nick sucks at it. So we're kind of in a tough situation.
no, I
Like
agree.
McVay calls the plays, man. Guys like that call the plays.
Yeah,
Kyle Shanahan calls.
yeah, um, Yeah. Now the thing with Chris Bruce, the thing with Eric Bieniemy is that I think that's more Andy Reid, and Eric Bieniemy was just the black OC that people in the media complained about not ever getting a shot. If I had to be honest, Chris Bruce, if I had to be honest, because he goes to
There's another great
UCLA,
example, by the
he
way,
goes to
Andy Reid,
UCLA and he
right?
fucking
Like
fizzles out, and then he goes to the Redskins, I believe, or some
Andy
other
Reid's the
team.
OC,
Yeah.
By the way, to that point, just real quick, one that kind of worked out the other way is
It's
Josh
just me, Chris
McDaniel,
Bruce. Just
right?
me, Chris Bruce.
Josh McDaniel in New England,
Oh
right? He was
yeah.
there for a while. He goes to get a head coaching job, doesn't work out.
Yeah. Right back to
Right
daddy he
back,
goes.
right? He's like,
Yep.
yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm good with this
Mhm.
OC stuff.
Mhm.
Um,
Absolutely.
but by the way, speaking
Is
of,
Frank Reich available? Then I wouldn't be mind bringing him back.
I would bring him in for OC.
That's a good name right there.
But by the way, for all those people, and because again, they want to blame Jalen so bad. Who I forget who it was, but a lot of them are saying it. But somebody just the other day was like, "Oh, I think it was Howard Eskin, the clown that he is, was like, none of this is the coaches. The coaches are awesome. I love the coaches.
What's his name
It's
said that too?
all on the
Elliot Shore Park said the same thing.
yeah, it's all on the players. Okay, well, let me ask you this then:
That's all I need,
New
bro.
England Patriots. Anyone remember their record last year
4-13,
and this year?
14-3.
Did they make a coaching change?
Yeah, dude, Vrabel's legit, man. Vrabel's
Right?
fucking
Like,
legit.
did they not bring in Vrabel and be like, hey, man, I mean, come on, guys. Look, I get it. Ultimately, at the end of the day, players have to make plays. But in sports, especially the NFL, when we're talking about how where it's ever evolving with schemes and play calls and all that, you've got to be able to put your players in positions to win. You've got to be able to put them in positions where their strengths get maximized and their weaknesses get minimized. And
Yeah.
we do not have coaches that can do that.
We will have to see what free agency looks like. But Chris Bruce, I know you want to hear this. Philly, I know you don't want to hear this. Eric, Brittany, I know you guys don't want to hear this.
Britney Spears.
The window's over, man. I know you guys don't want to hear that. I know you guys don't want to hear that. I know.
The window is never over.
The window is closed, man. Yeah,
the window never closes. It's nice out today.
Yeah, you hate to see it. Oh, it's nice where you're at. It's fucking. It's all right over here. It's all right over here.
No, it's cold. It's cold here again. Okay. I mean, actually, the sun is out.
Yeah, the sun's out, but it's still cold. Yeah,
it's weird. Yeah, like we had a few days of in the 50s, but
dude,
it was cloudy.
Yeah, the whole entire weekend was pretty nice.
And then now it dropped to like I think like 30, 31 overnight, but the sun's out. It's bizarre. Yeah, it's good. It's supposed to get cold again this week, but yeah, man, it's
Yeah.
I mean,
get ready for the Seahawks. We are now on the Seahawks trajectory.
I sort of agree with you. Like when you talk, this is why I keep emphasizing.
They lost their whole entire defense too, dude. They lost their whole entire defense.
Well, that's what, man. This off season is going to tell whether it's completely like not just closed but welded shut.
Yeah.
Or can we jimmy it a little and get it open in a year or two?
Yeah.
But that's the point. And again, that's what makes it so tough. When you have success, you're going to lose guys in free agency who are going to get overpaid elsewhere, and you just can't pay them even if you want to. Yeah. And because of the way the NFL wants everything to be, you are going to get the toughest schedules, right? Again, first Super Bowl winner ever to not play back-to-back games at home in an entire season.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think they had 4 or 5 short week games too.
We had a Thursday game, we had a Saturday game, a Monday game.
It's crazy. And now they're gonna have a first place schedule again.
Yeah. Well,
it's wild. And I mean, speaking of, I know Philly doesn't want to hear this, but the Giants have some nice pieces in place, guys. I mean, like this is not. I think the NFC East is going to be a very different.
You're talking yourself into it, man.
It's going to be a very. Well, you know what's wild?
We're talking ourselves into it. Now, what about Aaron Rodgers?
I can see us coming into second place. Oh yeah, in second place in the division next year, and actually be a better team than we are this year.
Oh man,
because I think every team in the division is going to be better.
Yeah, Chris Bruce. It's nasty work, Chris Bruce, isn't it? Yeah. I just had that feeling. I just had that feeling that it's just It's disgusting this missed opportunity. Yeah, 5 and yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because we kind of, I mean, we didn't necessarily go, but dude, a 5-year Super Bowl window is a long window, man. It's a
it
long
is,
window.
and we we won the Super Bowl, and this is why I said some of this has to go on Howie, because
Yeah,
so much of this ended up being the offensive coordinator stuff, which ultimately is Howie. We won the Super Bowl, and then we rolled over and showed our belly, and we were like, "Yeah, fuck it, we can waste a year." I mean, that's what we said when we hired Kevin Patullo. We are going to waste a year
yeah.
because Kevin Patullo has as much play calling experience in football as I do.
Yeah, Eric, I hear what you're saying about run the ball changes things drastically. Um, we're gonna have to see how they replace guys on the defense side of the ball. Me and CDS also talked about this. Like
Yeah,
that line's damn near cooked. That line's damn
yeah.
near cooked. You know, we want to give the benefit of the doubt. Mailata had an offseason. Fine, I'll give you that benefit of the doubt. But Cam Jurgens had one decent season last year. That's it. I
Yep.
mean, he wasn't like fucking. I'm not doing backflips. You know what I'm
That
saying?
and that holding call on him yesterday was huge
Yeah, it's not
and
like our
unnecessary.
it's not like our offensive line are a bunch of young spring chickens.
No.
Speaking of that, dude, look how fast the Cowboys kind of pivoted once their offensive line got old with
Yeah.
Zach Martin and
Yeah.
Smith. I mean, once they got old, they completely pivoted and they really haven't even recovered as far as a
I
competitive
mean, yeah,
standpoint since then.
the the good news is we do have a decent number of draft picks this year. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we have on average for the whole thing more than one per round because we're going to need them. I mean, we're going to
Yep.
need them.
Yep.
We are this year has to be a great draft in terms of finding guys in later rounds, not necessarily getting game changing superstars in round one or even round two, but getting those guys that can become a starting offensive lineman in round four, round
Yeah.
five, round six, that sort of thing. Um,
Yeah.
oh, and speaking of, can I just add one other thing to
Yeah.
about the coaching and the issue? And let me know in the comments because I think we all are now wondering this. Brian Covey was a fantastic return guy last year, right? I mean, everyone remembers that, right? What the hell was he doing on the practice squad, not returning kicks until it was so bad that was all we were almost forced to bring him back and activate him.
Not 0-17 Star Wars. No, dude, it's actually funny that you brought him up because we would probably win that Dallas Cowboys game if he's returning punts.
Yeah.
We probably win that Dallas Cowboys game if he's returning punts.
Yep.
So
100%.
it is what it is, man. It's
Wild.
I mean, we're definitely going to be here throughout the offseason, you know, talking free agency and draft. You know, I would assume so.
Yeah.
CDS,
Oh,
yeah,
that's one thing I like about football is there's a lot of off-season stuff to talk
yeah.
about. Because there's so many positions, so many guys. There's like it's going to be interesting. And again, the Eagles not only I mean the
Yeah, I
Eagles
mean, that's a
have
good point, dude. You got the Giants, right? You got nice pieces, and they're probably going to get
nice
hardball, right?
pieces.
Jaden McDaniels is out all season for the
Yeah,
Redskins, so they're going to be more
they had a
formidable.
lot of
And
injuries.
Dak Prescott is going to choke. So,
Dude.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing with that though. You say that and it's true. But if
oh
they get a
shit,
little better on the defensive
defensive
side of the
side, yeah,
ball,
yep.
yeah, they'll go
Yeah,
nowhere in the
then they'll just
playoffs.
choke in the playoffs instead of the regular season.
Right, but they'll win
Fair,
they can win the
fair,
division.
very
They
fair,
can beat
very
us
fair,
twice.
fair. Yeah, I mean, within the next year or two, the NFC East could go from a laughable division outside the Eagles this year to a
Yeah,
stout division that it was in the mid
that's why
2000s.
can we talk about something that irks me real
Yeah,
quick?
shoot.
Because it drives me nuts. Because I mean, this doesn't happen every year, but every time it does happen, you get all these ridiculous takes. Like when one division is really good, which happens periodically, right? We've seen it with the East, and sometimes there's one division where there's a lot of parity. So you have a team, go 10-7, 9-8, 8-9, and win it, and then you get all these idiots with these takes. So, oh, we gotta completely change the entire playoff system, and this team shouldn't have a home game. And it's like, guys, it's a
Mm,
temporary thing. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But
mm.
you're going to have an absolute nightmare if you try and change it the way it is. I mean, why even have divisions? Like if there's no incentive for winning a division,
Yep.
then why have them? Like let's just make forget don't even have the AFC and the NFC. Let's just put all 32 of them together.
Mm.
Let's play 31 games. They'll all play each other once. the top 6 go into the playoffs. Like, what are we doing? Come on. I mean, because that, by the way, that sounds insane, but that's the most fair, right?
Yeah.
Let's get all the teams with the best record, but they all have to play the same schedule to do it. That's the only fair way. It's just, I'm just sick of hearing that when it does happen about how, oh, that team shouldn't have a home game. It happens, man. Just deal with it. Like, come on.
Yep. No, I agree. I agree.
I mean,
man.
if they're so bad that they don't deserve a home game, then just go there and beat them. I mean, isn't that what just happened in Carolina?
Yeah.
It's not complicated, man. We hope the Eagles fire him.
Yeah.
Oh, did they really? Oh, Chris Bruce said the Commanders just hired from within at the OC.
Yeah, they hired.
Right, we could do that too. I'm blanking on his name.
Wait, hold on. CDS. We did that. Right, with Patullo. Shit. We did that. We traveled down that road.
But I mean, we could do that with someone good, couldn't we?
Yeah.
But what's his name? Has a good relationship with Jalen Hurts. I can't think of his name right now. But he was the guy in the clip that went out there that was talking about stuff, I think a couple weeks ago, stuff that needed to be changed in terms of the play. And Jalen was like, yeah, hell yeah, 100%. We got to do that. You know, that whole clip that went out where everyone was like, Jalen looks like so pissed off with this damn offensive meeting crap.
The Hard Knocks clip. Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah, I think oh my God. Yeah, I don't think he's the type, but man, I think it would be interesting. Jalen would have a lot to say if he wrote a tell-all, I think, about this season and the offense. Because, you know, he's just not that type. Like, he's not AJ Brown. He's not gonna say those things, you know. He's the guy that's gonna be like, AJ can drop 87 passes, and Jalen will be like, yeah, that's on me. I gotta do a better job of putting that ball in a better spot for him.
Absolutely.
Which I love, I respect, but sometimes I just want to be like, no, man, just say it. Just say it. Hit him with it. Oh man.
All right, CDS. You got anything else for me?
No, I think we're good. Yeah, we already went an hour 10. Wow, we had a big number today, man.
Yeah. Appreciate all you guys coming by.
Yeah, that's wild. I love that. That's awesome.
Misery loves company. So,
Misery
loves company.
In the chats, we're reading as it's scrolling. Even when we don't necessarily mention you or read it out, we're reading it and taking stuff from that. And so, yeah, we're very much paying attention. But
yeah, I mean, this was an open season, man. Like, that's also the thing. There was no there's no big dog walking the yard this year. So it was open for the taking, and unfortunately, we didn't take it. We did not take it. We
decided we did not want it. No.
Yeah.
Scott Loeffler, thank you.
Nice name. Thank you, Eagles.
I'd read that out, but that's just too long and crazy.
Eagles Sixers fan.
Eagles Sixers fan.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, that's probably what it's supposed to be.
Indeed.
It's got numbers at the end.
Indeed.
Yeah, but yeah, awesome. So much. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing out. Yeah, we'll do this again next week, right? We're still playing the game.
Yeah.
We'll still have Eagles stuff to talk about, and we can talk about the playoffs as well outside of that. So we appreciate it. Yeah, so we'll be back next week. Thank you, everyone, for showing up.
Appreciate you guys. Chris Bruce, appreciate you. Rolling as always. Appreciate you guys. Eric, appreciate all you guys
in the comments. Rolling, everyone. So yeah, man, go try and. I don't want to say drown your sorrows, because then somebody's going to do something dumb and come back and get me. But y'all know what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Go get it out. Go get it out. There's a game tonight. You can watch that. Try and focus on that.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll talk to y'all again.